Hello, everyone. My name is Braylee, and this is the official first episode, first video, first entry of The Twilight Road. I'm gonna jump straight into this. I have my journal here just to guide me, so if I'm looking down, it's to help me focus on exactly what I'm trying to say, and not what I'm trying to say, but what I'm going to say. I see in today's world. I'm sure a lot of people are seeing, if not everyone is seeing, the way that things are playing out. And me personally, one of the biggest reasons why I'm making this video is if I personally don't try to contribute to the betterment and the resurgence and the rebirth of our world and our civilization, as dramatic as it sounds, is really like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I don't at least try, you know. So this is just as much as for myself as for the people who watch this, whoever may watch this. Pero okay, I'm just gonna straight up say it. I feel that we aren't allowed to connect with ourselves in the way that we should be able to. Not only are we not allowed to, pero I'm certain and I'm secure in the fact that the way that our world and our society is programmed right now, it's intentionally to keep us from connecting to ourselves. And this is the where we're gonna start this off. I have always been extremely interested in learning about myself and the things that make me me. What is my special sauce, my core, my essence, my fingerprint, what makes me unique, what makes me an individual, you know? I've always loved connecting with myself and learning about myself and growing as an individual, as a human being on this planet, as a spirit, as an energy body, learning about being human, you know? I've always wanted to become better. I've always wanted to strive to become the next evolution of myself in whatever way, shape, or form that took and that appeared, all for the sake of growing and stepping more and more into myself. So I'm gonna say this just like this. Energy is real. Energy exists, clearly. Souls are real. Souls exist. And our inner worlds are 100% real. They exist in whatever way, shape, or forms that takes place in. So with me and my intention with making this video, this being the first of many videos for the Twilight Road, here I will be sharing my experiences, my knowledge, my wisdom, and ultimately my feelings and thoughts about these three main topics: aesthetics, the soul, and energy. And these three aspects, these three channels, you can even say, these three branches, they kind of form a trinity of the keys in order to connect with our inner worlds, our inner landscapes, our inner environments, being able to descend into our own underworlds and confront and face and accept and sit with whatever we find there, you know? I don't believe that anyone is 100% good or 100%, well, we're not gonna get into 100% bad because we know for sure what's wrong and what's right. And if you don't know that, that's a whole different thing that you need to look into respectfully. Pero there's a duality and a balance to everything, including us as human beings, as animals on this planet, as spirits or souls, or as energy bodies inhabiting these vessels, these bodies. There's a polarity to existence. There is a light aspect, there is a dark aspect, there is a positive, there is a negative. And I want to really make a point of separating good and bad from what the things from the things I talk about. So I will be very much trying to correct my wordage and how I'm explaining what I want to explain because those things are very subjective, you know? Okay. So yes, getting a little sidetracked, foggy minded. However, powering through this, getting back to focusing on this, having a white and a black side within us, a yin and yang, it's not something to see as separate, although we can learn about them as separate aspects. Hence why I'm going to be exploring the topic of our inner world and connecting with our inner world through aesthetics, the soul, and energy. Those are going to be my three aspects. But being able to not just see something as, okay, this is light or this is dark, but seeing it as something else, a third entity almost, a combination and a hybrid of the these two things. I know I can explain that better. I'm a very visual person. So let's try to do an example real quick. Oh, perfect. Literally right now. It's sunset. It's about to be twilight if not already. One of my favorite times of being outside and existing. It's because it's literally the in between, and that's something I really have spent a lot of my life inside of and learning about and almost embodying. And so being able to traverse and navigate the in between, it's a blessing for us. And as uncomfortable as it may seem, because one thing I really want to, really want to make clear off rip is the fact that when we connect with ourselves, it's not, if any time at all, gonna be comfortable. You know, we're gonna be as comfortable with ourselves as we allow ourselves to be, as much as we accept ourselves, as much as we have love for ourselves. And so it's not something that should be undertaken lightly. Pero, rounding back to what I was saying in the beginning, at least for me, the satisfaction and I would say even the pride that I feel after these years, I'm 23 by the way, after these years in my life, and I am young, pero I can say with confidence that the person that I was when I was younger, growing up, and the person that I am now, the younger version of me would be astonished and gobsmacked, I would even say, flabbergasted at just how much I've grown. And it hasn't been easy at all. That's number one. However, I'm not gonna say that I wish I didn't experience a lot of the things that that I experienced or that I regret a lot of the circumstances and choices and situations that led me to the different experiences that I've had in my life, excuse me. Pero it's just being able to find the positive and the negative, like how I was saying with the twilight right now, being in between the light and the dark where you can see exactly what it is that's laid out before you without having it be so overpowering or overstimulated or harsh or hurtful even, although at times being honest with ourselves and trying to heal ourselves, it's gonna hurt at times, you know. It's cleaning a wound, you know. I don't know what wounds we've cleaned that hasn't hurt. However, being able to sit in between and acknowledge and admire and even find beauty in the fact that there is light and there is dark. There's beautiful colors right now that you wouldn't be able to see in the daytime or in the pure nighttime. Pero they all three of them, the daytime, the nighttime, the in between, the twilight, there's beauty in all of it, and all of it can be used to help us to grow. I've seen this a lot somewhere, pero it was a saying, de que like, be it if they throw dirt at me or if they throw water at me, all of it is for the purpose and can be used for the purpose of growing your own garden. And I hope that gives some visuals as to what I'm trying to say. So that was me kind of going off the top of my head. But now we're going to refer to this because I want to make sure I'm real clear on what this video is supposed to be. To know me a little bit, of course, this is the first of many. However, back to business, the Twilight Road. Essentially, this is going to be um, a haven, a platform, a hub for connecting with our inner world, communicating with our inner world, and cultivating our inner world. We're going to be exploring our inner world through the three branches of aesthetics, which will involve archetypes and symbolism, the soul, so our sensitivity, our awareness, our consciousness, our essence, and something that I call soul reflections. We'll get into that in future videos. And the third aspect, energy. And that involves um, prints, signatures, and most importantly, I would say language. The way I've learned to receive and energy and motion, is like a language, being able to understand what it is that this essence or this energy is and how we can utilize that for our growth, for our betterment, for the sake of benign healing for ourselves, our community, and for our world. Connect our inner world. Yes. Oh, okay. Bear with me for a second. Okay. So this is already 12 minutes long. I'm gonna wrap this up for our first video. This is especially going to be for anyone that relates to me and the things that I end up sharing or I have already shared. For the people that feel like they've never fit in, that they've been ostracized, that they've been put down, that they've been made to feel unaccepted and almost alien, you could even say. Those are for y'all, because that's me right there too. For the people that have been isolated for a long time, that have been put onto paths that people don't really understand, that you haven't really talked about. Because I know myself, I haven't really talked about my path. But guess what? We about to do that right now. So just like with me, hopefully I can do this for somebody else, whoever it is. I don't care. Let me correct that, because this is going to be a visual example of what I mean as well. I'm gonna correct the fact that I said I don't care, and I'm gonna change that into I do care, pero I'm so open to whoever it is that receives this resonance that I'm trying to, push out or to send out more so. Again, correcting myself, you see. Pero for essentially anyone that feels like they've been trapped or that their voices have been taken and that they've lost their connection to themselves to be able to express themselves, to live their lives, because that's really something that it's heartbreaking and it makes me feel so like it just fills me with so much emotion to see how many people feel like they're lost or they feel like they don't have a voice. They feel like they don't have people to talk to. They don't have battles that we don't even know about that they fight on a nightly routine. I know it's very true for myself. And at this point, even though I don't feel like I'm ready to do a lot of these things or what I imagine for myself, I know I've always wanted to do these things. And although a lot of things have happened in my life that have made me feel like I won't get to this point or that I never will, respectfully, I'm about to curse. I don't know if some of you are sensitive to that, but a little warning. I don't give a fuck, respectfully, about the shit that has happened to me. And not only do I not give a fuck, I don't give a fuck about the effects that would hold me back because they have held me back. So in that specific instance, I don't give a fuck about that because, like I said, I'd rather try and do something, anything to try to contribute to the betterment of the world that I see slowly dying, and for the people that I see around me. That's a strong word. For the people I see around me that are just, excuse me, losing themselves. And now I'm going off on a tangent, so let me remind myself to wrap this up. We don't have to let our pain hold us captives. We don't have to let our trauma be the things that keep us captive and trap us. We don't have to do that. We have choices. We always have choices. And I feel like this specific part, I know this is probably really hitting with me. Not probably, this is really hitting with me. So I feel like this might probably really hit someone in specific, but we have choice. We can make the choices to grow, to become better, to choose better, to create better, especially for our lives. And that's essentially what I'm going to attempt to do with this. I want us to feel, and not just feel, but to be liberated. I want us to be embodying our expressions, and I want us to be loving, excuse me, loving our healing. No matter if it's sunshine or rain, if it's painful, if it's fun, it's all a blessing. And I'm gonna leave it there because I could really keep going. Again, my name is Braylee. This is my first video, so the setup is a little bit wonky. I'm a little bit wonky, but I'll trust we will sharpen up and we will tighten up and we will get better together, hopefully. Not hopefully we will. I have lots of love for you. My name is Braylee. Once again, I don't remember if I said that already. And this is the birth of the Twilight Road. Be safe and remember, come from love, be with love, and do it for love. Okay, that's it. Also, I look real well. You can't see me now, but I look real cute. So